What's in a name? How which we call a rose by any other word would smell as sweet.
And would not a concentration camp by any other name still be as cruel? And as it seems, the mega world would rather you call places like Alligator Alcatraz pretty much anything but a concentration camp. They're a little sensitive about that, and gee, I can't imagine why. Apparently, it makes them look like Nazis, as if they can't do that all on their own. But this semantical debate got a little testy on CNN, and it opens up the topic. Is Trump building detention centers or straight up concentration camps? And by the way, can't even believe we're having this debate in America in the year 2025. But here we are. So please hit subscribe to Really American Media and help secure your place on the right side of history. So, CNN had a panel of guests on, and Tiffany Cross was not there to mince words.
We are normalizing a government agency disappearing people. We are normalizing, we're talking about it like it's no big deal that they are kidnapping people and transporting them to concentration camps, both domestic and foreign.
Uh-oh, mega trigger warning. She used the words concentration camp, which set off Kelly Jane Torrance, who is the editor-at-large for the mega-friendly New York Post, who couldn't clutch her pearls quickly enough.
That is not.
I think that's kind of insulting to, you know,
I think it's
Jewish
insulting what they're
Holocaust
doing.
survivors.
It is not insulting to Jewish Holocaust. I find it insulting that you could even fix your mouth to defend this disgusting
gas
behavior.
ovens at these?
It's not a death
It
camp.
doesn't matter. It's a concentration camp what they're doing.
Yeah, as Bon Jovi would say, she was shot down in a blaze of glory by trying to hide behind some weird assertion that it's anti-Semitic or disrespectful to Jews to use the term concentration camp. Because, hey, like she said, it's not like there's gas ovens at Alligator Alcatraz. At which point she was quickly told that there's a difference between a concentration camp and a death camp, which is true. Nazis had both. A death camp is exclusively for killing prisoners, either through terrible conditions there or just by flat out executing people. But let's see what the actual definition of a concentration camp is so that we can be fair here, and let's see if it describes Alligator Alcatraz. The Oxford Dictionary defines it as, quote, a place where large numbers of people, especially political prisoners or members of persecuted minorities, are deliberately imprisoned in a relatively small area with inadequate facilities. Check, 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 and check. Goes on, quote, sometimes to provide forced labor or to await mass execution. Key word there, sometimes. And by the way, these prisoners are awaiting mass deportations, which can certainly lead to harm or death. So again, it's a fair description. I mean, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then you can call it a freaking concentration camp. And like I said, MAGA is very, very sensitive about this. Rolling Stone even wrote this article about how Trump staffers are being told to stop calling them camps already, because these definitely are not summer camps. And as this article points out, an anonymous Trump insider said, quote, apparently some people think it makes us look like Nazis. Gee, you think?
I also am insulted by the term concentration camps. Are you serious? You're comparing ICE agents. We just lost a Border Patrol agent to a shooting up in Vermont yesterday, and they're the Gestapo. Are you serious? Concentration camps? ICE has detention centers. They have the best standards in the entire industry.
That's Trump border czar and all-around terrible person, Tom Homan, getting his oversized panties in a bunch over the nerve that some people have to tell it like it is, because obviously these are concentration camps. And what about his claim that they're all top-notch facilities?
Well, first up here at 6, millions of mosquitoes are raising questions at Alligator Alcatraz. The immigrant detention center opened this week by the governor is in the middle of the Everglades, and epidemiologists are warning that it could become a breeding ground for nasty diseases that could impact both detainees and state workers.
Well, this evening, questions over the operation at the site dubbed Alligator Alcatraz. There are already concerns about flooding following 2 days of consistent rain.
Well, hey, they sound great. I can't wait to read the Yelp reviews. And getting back to CNN, the mega puppet attempts to deflect by claiming that liberals are causing all this heightened tension on the topic.
Tensions are so heightened. Using that kind of language, I think, is not helpful.
The
Let's be
tensions are heightened
accurate.
because this BS administration is kidnapping people. It has nothing to do with my language. It has to do with the actions that are being taken by this administration.
That is a classic mega move. They punch you in the nose and then get mad at you for bleeding all over the place. And then Mega Ginger Spice there tries to throw one last curveball at the panel to claim that, hey, nobody's really been vanished to these definitely not concentration camps.
How many
And
people
if you-
have been disappeared
and how
that
you
you've never
can-
heard from again, and we don't know anything about them or where they've gone?
Thousands of people.
And
are
you've
you
never
serious?
heard about them, where they're
Yes,
going? Nothing really.
Are,
Because we
are
managed
you
to
a
find it
reporter?
out.
Are you not a reporter? Yes,
managed to find
thousands of
someone-
people.
yeah, we managed to find
Thousands
people
of
in
people.
True again. We here at Really American Media have done countless stories about people being snatched off the streets or right out of their homes by ICE, and none of those stories were about serious criminals. In fact, less than 10% of the people currently at Alligator Alcatraz have committed a serious crime, which is disgusting, right?
And it is very disgusting what this administration is doing. And 10, 5, 6 months, 20 years from now, I hope that you can look back at this very clip and realize that you were on the wrong side of history if you're trying to remotely defend what's happening. There are fathers, mothers, and young people who are being carted off to concentration camps, and less than 10% of these people have committed any sort of violent crime. They are coming up, people whose our kids are in school. They are never to see their families again.
And if you're still watching this video, thank you for being on the right side of history. So keep fighting the good fight and keep calling things out for what they are, like calling these detention centers concentration camps, because that's what they are. And if you think that makes you look like a Nazi, that would be on you. It's not on us for having eyeballs and seeing the obviousness of the truth. So please like this video, comment below, and get vocal. From the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve podcast, which is available everywhere, including right here on this page under the Live tab. It's up there somewhere. I'm Steve Harness for Really American Media.